Today we meet one of the rising stars in the business of comedy. It is not an easy world to work with, especially for a woman. Let's meet Ashley and see how she broke into this business.
I was in medical billing, and so we were allowed to listen to music. So I had my headphones in. I didn't like the people that I worked with because it was a 40-year-old woman who was obsessed with Mean Girls. So every Wednesday she wore pink, and the only people that can sit with her was her squad, which was part of my team. And so it was very cliquish. I decided to listen to stand-up comedy because I was tired of hearing these women gossip and talk crap about people. And so I decided to listen to comedians. So I started to enjoy what they were talking about. And, you know, I've been always to make people laugh about my stories, about my life, whether it was my dating life, how I grew up as a child. And so I got laid off from my job that year. And so did many others. And I didn't know what to do. I've never been laid off before. And so a friend of mine told me to be a background actor. And she was doing background acting for this TV show called Nashville. And so I decided to join, and I met this really cool person. And for the first time ever, I felt comfortable saying I wanted to try stand-up comedy for the first time ever. And he was like, cool, I do too. I think he was just trying to impress me because he thought I was cute. But I said, okay, perfect. Let me know the time, date, and when, and I'll be there. I showed up, put my name on the piece of paper, and 5 minutes went by, 10 minutes went by, 15 minutes went by, and then 5 minutes after the show started, he still wasn't there. So finally, I texted him to see, like, hey, are you okay? I'm concerned. You said that you're going to be here. And he said that supposedly he got blocked, his street got blocked from the cops or whatever, because I guess something was going on, so he couldn't make it. So I didn't want to back out. I didn't want them to think that I was a chicken and be scared. And so I decided to do it anyways. And I did my material. No one laughed. You could hear the sounds of crickets because it was that bad. So I got off, and then the host came on and said, I know what drugs I'm on, but I don't know what drugs she's on, because I guess a lot of comedians may or may not do drugs. It just depends on where you go. And so I decided, like, yes, I didn't make anyone laugh this time, but I'm gonna make at least one person laugh this time. And the next time I did it, people thought I was a professional traveling comedian. And then I kept on doing it. And now, as of last year, I've been getting paid gigs and becoming more noticed as a comedian. So that's my story of how I got started.
Ashley's life experience and beliefs is rife material for ideas for her comedy. She manages to craft out her jokes out of these social backgrounds. Let us see how she adapted that to her comedy work.
Definitely trial and error for sure. My first comedy stuff was mainly about my dating life, because I don't know if it's the same way in Egypt, but over in America, it's awful for sure. You know, you go on dates. Some guys are married still. Some guys are just really crazy. One of them later on down the road reached out to me, and he's transitioning into a woman. So there's just a lot of different things that I would joke about when it comes to the dating world. Now it's a mixture of like my dating life, but now like who I am as a person when it comes to religion. I used to be super religious. I actually used to be a missionary, like for Christians. And now I don't follow any religion, but I joke about it because a lot of people in America are going through the same thing, and my stuff is very relatable. The women that are Christians in America, but not many of them that I know are like agnostic or atheists. I consider myself agnostic, which is like you believe that there's something out there, but you have no title of religion. And that's where I'm at right now. Like, I don't consider myself an atheist just because if I said that as a woman, I feel like that's just like a big red letter on me that kind of puts me away from puts me away from the world and everything. It's a lot of hard work, just because some jokes work in one places and some don't work in others. And then sometimes people have that mindset that, women aren't funny. And so I want to prove to the world that women are funny, and it's not just a man's world anymore when it comes to comedy.
And now I leave you with a routine from Ashley for 2 to 3 minutes with her comedy show. Go.
All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for your time tonight or wherever you're at. My name is Ash Newland. I'm a comedian here in the United States. I just moved to Dallas, Texas. I used to live in Nashville, Tennessee, which is the buckle of the Bible Belt. And I mean, let's just say it, guys. Parents lie. They lie a lot. They lie about Santa Claus, the Tooth Fairy, you are special. If your parents told you that you're special, it's probably a lie. The biggest lie that my parents ever told me was that tomato plants were marijuana plants. And you might be asking, like, how did that come about? Well, let's just say I grew up in the city called Seattle in Washington State, and weed's a big thing there. But when you're a child and it was still illegal there, one day my brother and I decided to look for our birthday gifts because we knew where they hid it at. And so we're looking high, we're looking low, and then finally we saw a light in the closet. So we're thinking maybe God is hiding in the closet. So we're opening up the closet, and there we see these big tall plants. And so out of curiosity, I ran to my mom, I ran to my dad. I'm like, Mom, Dad, why are there plants in your closet? And my parents, their reply was, with a shocked look on their face, they said, oh, those are tomato plants. We're practicing to become farmers. And so I believed it. And so every single day I would walk into the room, peek into the closet, and see the progress of these tomato plants. So I looked every single day. Days went by, weeks went by, and I started growing disappointed because there wasn't red, juicy tomatoes on there that I could put it on my sandwich. So years later down the road, my cousin told me the hard truth. And so she came home from school one day and she said, with a lot of paranoia, it's like she did something wrong. So she was sneaking around the house and said, hey guys, come here. So we snuck into my room. She closes the door, locks my door, and whispers, hey guys, you know what's in the pipe that my parents smoked? And I said, yeah, tobacco, because we're Native American. Another lie that my parents told us. It wasn't a peace pipe, y'all. It was definitely marijuana. So for me, I was surprised. My little brother, on the other hand, started freaking out, started crying, saying, oh my gosh, we're going to go to jail. They're going to go to jail. We're never going to see our parents again. We're going to go into foster care. So I had to grab onto him and slap him across the face and tell him to snap out of it. And still to this day, my parents are still shocked that I remember that marijuana isn't tomato plants. So there we go, guys. Thank you so much for your time.
We have seen how Ashley found a job, a work that she loved, and she excelled in that work and found her own space very quickly. Do you think that doing a kind of work that you like will give you the same opportunity? Waiting for your ideas in the comments.